Hello everyone, welcome to Renal Rehabilitation Laboratory. This is you, a physical therapist. This time I'd like to talk about this question, which is the best way of exercise and lifestyle for CKD patients to be longer, healthier and happier life. There are many recommendations about lifestyle for community dwelling elderly people, and CKD patients also need about it. So, let's start learning. Today, I'd like to talk about this report, Clinical Practice Guideline, Exercise and Lifestyle in Chronic Kidney Disease. The statement that if exercise were a pill, it would be one of the most widely prescribed and cost-effective drugs ever invented, has been used many times with good reason, because the evidence is compelling and the message is clear that being active provides a foundation for a longer, healthier, and happier life. This is the first document of recommendation for physical activity and lifestyle to set out the evidence for those people living with kidney disease, including those on hemodialysis. The strength of the recommendations and the level of supporting evidence are coded as previously using the modified grade system as recommended by Renal Association guidance. 1 is strong recommendation, A is high quality evidence, and B is moderate quality evidence. And 2 is weak recommendation, C is low quality evidence, and D is very low quality evidence. First, I introduce some recommendations for non-dialysis CKD patients. They recommend physical activity should be encouraged in the non-dialysis CKD population without contraindications and with stable controlled comorbidities. They recommend non-dialysis CKD patients follow the UK Chief Medical Officer's Physical Activity Guidelines in 2019, slightly adapted for this population. They should maintain or improve their physical function by undertaking activities aimed at improving or maintaining muscle strength, balance, and flexibility on at least 2 days a week. And they should aim to accumulate 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity per week, building up gradually from current levels. Those who are already regularly active can achieve these benefits through 75 minutes of vigorous intensity activity per week, or a combination of moderate and vigorous activity. And they should break up prolonged periods of being sedentary with light activity when physically possible, or at least with standing. They recommend that increasing physical activity or exercise levels in non-dialysis CKD patients will contribute to improvements in blood pressure, improvements in physical function and capacity, improvements in functional limitations, improvements in health-related quality of life. They suggest that exercise may improve mental well-being, symptoms of depression and anxiety. They recommend that a prescribed combination of aerobic and muscle strengthening should be utilized to improve muscle function. Second, I introduce some recommendations for hemodialysis patients. They recommend that physical activity and exercise should be encouraged in hemodialysis population where there are no contraindications. They recommend that hemodialysis patients should aim for 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity a week, or 75 minutes of vigorous activity or a mixture of both. This may include a combination of exercise outside of dialysis or exercise during dialysis. This suggests that sufficient physical activity may reduce risk of cardiovascular-related and all-cause mortality in the hemodialysis population. This suggests that increased physical activity or exercise may have favorable effects on blood pressure. Intradialytic exercise is safe with no contraindications. They therefore recommend that it should be available in all units as per Renal Association clinical practice guideline on hemodialysis. To improve cardiovascular health and physical function, to improve muscular strength, reduce hospitalizations, to improve blood pressure control, to improve lipid profiles, to improve dialysis efficiency. This suggests that programs for increasing physical activity and exercise are supervised and led by individuals qualified to deliver exercise and/or rehabilitation programs in population with chronic disease. They recommend that individual participant and staff barriers need to be addressed to optimize program participation and adherence. In this document, these guidelines are referenced, so I will introduce you about this later. That's all. Thanks for watching. What do you think about this topic? If you have any ideas, feel free to write it on the comments. See you next videos.